we're back in the studio, and we're doing something a little different. We're switching it up. We're actually going to dive deep into some blue-collar work, into some local man stuff. Here today, we have regular man, regular Joe, Jed Jahnz, True North Heating and Air, HVAC technician, father of two. What else are you? Proud gun owner.
Very proud gun owner.
America.
Father of two that I know of.
Two that I know of.
You know, some are kids. Some are here, some are there.
A lot of summer kids.
Summer kids, whatever.
So you do HVAC for a living. You just started your own HVAC company.
I did, absolutely. Just over a year ago.
So now you're still kind of green on the whole aspect of doing it on your own versus doing it commercially. How long have you been doing HVAC stuff in general?
In general, I would say most of my life. I grew up doing it with my father. Winter times, I used to do gutters and siding for a living. I did it for a long, long time. 9 years I did that. Winter times I get laid off. I mean, nobody wants to hang out gutters and crap in the winter.
Yeah, that sucks.
In the winter. It sucks. So wintertime I'd go work with my old man, banging ductwork and shit like that. So that's how I kind of got my introduction into it when I was real young.
Yeah.
Out of high school, I'd say.
Do you think you like doing it on your own better than you like working for a bigger company?
Oh, I'd say by far, especially big company. I worked for a few smaller companies beforehand. Total nightmare, other than working for the old man, of course.
You want to scoot just a little bit closer to the microphone? It's cutting your voice out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so now, like, non-commercially, you do it on your own. Do you do, like, you think your work is more commercial or less commercial than what it was when you were working for a bigger company?
As far as, like, commercial, doing work for commercial outfits?
Right, like, rather than for people's houses.
Commercial versus residential, yeah, for sure. I focus mainly on residential rather than commercial. Commercial's dirty, no offense.
Got it.
See, that's one thing that I was thinking of. A lot of people, like, I know a few plumber friends, electrician friends, and they love new construction because you're not going into someone's house where they've lived for the last 20 years, have never cleaned their basement, had multiple floods.
Right.
So you're a brave soul for going residential.
Right, yeah.
Trust me, I've seen it all. And when I mean that, I mean it. I've seen it all.
Obviously, you already know where this is going. We're going to obviously ask you what's the worst scenario of a possible house that you've been into, you think? Because you're not the only trade that has to deal with that. I mean, we got, painters. I mean, I'm sure electricians, just like handymen in general.
Right.
Going into people's houses, and they just want weird shit done, or it's just a weird place. What do you think is the worst scenario that you've been in?
The worst scenario I've ever been in, I trust me, it's very fresh in my mind. And it probably happened, I'd say 10 plus years ago. But it's fresh in my mind. You don't forget something like this.
One of those things. There's multiple senses involved, obviously, because when you think, like, if this is a core memory of your job, like, obviously something smelt bad and looked bad. Or maybe tasted bad.
Yeah, all the above, dude.
Just burned in your brain.
All the above.
So what senses were involved with this that makes this a core memory?
Mostly smell. So
walk us through the day.
Through the day, I got to this job, and I was told to rerun some new ductwork in this crawl space.
Okay.
And I knew when I got to the job, I pulled up, I'm like, oh, shit, there's cats.
There's cats. Is that always the telltale sign? Like, this house is going to smell like piss.
100%.
You know that distinct cat smell. As soon as the door opens, you know that basement's rough.
That was the weird thing, dude. Seriously, right away, there wasn't inside. The house was clean.
So your alarms aren't going off. You're not.
Right. Cats are running around outside, no big deal. Inside, there was no cats. But underneath the house was where the horrors lied.
Oh no! So was this a trailer house? Was it? Is it like up on blocks?
It was
you're under the house in a crawl space.
Correct, under a crawl space.
That's like kind of like the handyman's nightmare. Any trade's nightmare. Going to a house that you got to like crawl under the house to get to anything. Right.
Right.
There's always crazy shit under there.
Right. It was a litter box / it gets worse. Skunk den. There was dead skunks, dead cats, litter box everywhere. So we get cat shit, cat piss.
Which smells the worst out of any piss. Like piss,
by far.
piss reeks, but cat piss, that takes it.
It's the ammonia.
It's got that. Yeah, I was gonna say it's got that ammonia in it, and it just makes it so much stronger, so much grosser that it's like it doesn't go away really either. Like it seems to always be lingering unless you like physically wash whatever it's on.
Right, and skunk smell doesn't bother me anymore. I got so used to like pot smell.
Same difference.
Right, skunky weed, whatever.
Exactly.
It doesn't bother me anymore. But you get into a skunk den where there was multiple skunks, and I was crawling around underneath this house, man. It was so bad. I literally pulled a dead cat out of the ductwork.
Oh my God.
That's got to be disgusting.
So their house had to smell a little bit too.
It did, but the furnace wasn't running for a long time, so it didn't know.
Oh, they would have found out real quick.
Oh, they knew, but they didn't tell us.
Yup.
So like they knew there was a dead cat in the ductwork, and they just were like, "Yeah, we'll let it balk."
Right. So I had to go in there and run all new ductwork.
So what were you doing in this place?
I had to put a new furnace.
It was just new ductwork, or it was new furnace and
new furnace, new ductwork, and you don't get paid till this is done.
Oh boy!
So it was one of the without saying names of anything, but it was for a community group that helps the lower income people.
Okay,
it's a good way to put it.
A little bit of a jab locally, a little bit of a jab.
And it's a great outfit. It's a great organization. Don't get me wrong. But you run into this kind of stuff.
Oh, where it's like there's just not people out here checking the stuff. Obviously, like they don't. Not that they don't care. It's just neglected. Like it's just straight up neglected.
Straight neglected, dude. It was so bad.
Oh,
I literally got home. I lived in town at the time, and I went straight to the trash can. I stripped down to my boxers, threw my shoes outside, and walked in damn near naked. I said, fuck it. I threw all my clothes away.
You did not want any of the smell in your house.
I didn't smell my house.
Were the cats hanging out down there with you, or did they leave you?
No, a couple came in, but they skedaddled just as fast. They were wild.
So you're just crawling in cat shit.
Literally crawling in cat shit.
Oh my God, dude, that's a nightmare. I'm sure there's rats and mice. Well, I guess there's a lot of cats, so problem's probably fixed right there.
Recently at Wings, we ran into this like a thing where like the DirecTV people refused to like hook up DirecTV because they didn't want to go in the crawl space at Wings, and this is in the ceiling, in the roof. So basically, they were like, "Well, just go away then." Like I don't know what else you guys are here for. Like I'm not going up there, and I don't know what to do, and whatever. So, anyways, does that ever happen in that same scenario where it's like you get people on the job that's like, "I'm just not crawling through that. Like I'm not doing that."
I've done it now that I own my own.
Yeah,
and my own boss.
But you can make those decisions now.
Right.
But I'm saying like at a bigger company where it's like you're working for someone else, and you like get into the situation where you really don't want to do it. Like if you're in a bigger company, you don't want all your like coworkers to be like, "Oh, you're kind of being a pussy." You know what I mean? So it's like if you're at a bigger company and you come up on a scenario like this, you've already been through this. So you come up on a house like this now, you're gonna be like, "No, I'm just not doing that."
Yeah, I've done it.
But you're at a bigger company where it's like this is a big job.
Your boss that's sitting in his nice office in the warmth.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't give a fuck. Get it done.
This is your job. What do you do?
What did I do?
No, what would you do? Like someone who
I could
someone who's put in this scenario.
Now, what would I do? What did I do? Because it happened. Oh, it did happen.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. When I worked for another company, the bigger outfit I worked for.
Yeah.
When I worked there, it happened. I came across.
It was like something that you didn't want to do.
Oh, 100%.
It's just like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Right. I walked into not quite as bad a scenario as what I was in, but again, that scenario I was in was for my dad, and well, you don't disappoint my old man.
Yeah. Right. You just got to do it. You just got to suck it up.
It.
That was what it was.
Right. It was what it is.
There's no other option.
Nothing worse than getting called a pussy by your old man.
Right.
It just hits. It hits a little different. It's like, oh wow, you really mean that?
Right.
Fuck.
By some Joe Schmo working at another company, yeah, I didn't give two shits. I told him flat out, I'm like, listen, if you want me to do this, you're coming to do it with me. Mm-hmm. And I made him come out
to the place where there was an issue. Can you explain the scenario? You don't have to say any names or any companies.
It was a similar situation. It was a flooded basement by sewage.
Oh fuck!
Right, the sewage had flooded the basement.
That sucks.
And it came up on the furnace, and I'm sure everything was shot in the furnace.
So it was like covered, literally covered in poop.
Yeah,
like literally covered in feces.
No. Shit.
Oh, like thick, noticeable.
It was noticeable shit.
Oh, fuck.
Toilet paper stuff.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff you would be flushing.
Right. Everything that goes down your toilet.
God.
It was there.
Okay, so walk us through what is the scenario? They tell you need to go out and fix the furnace.
Right. I said you need to go out and fix this. They're paid. We need to go do this.
Did they explain to you like, hey, this house is flooded?
No. Well, they said flooded, which
Okay.
I've dealt with. Flood, no big deal.
So you get there and then you're like, oh, this is not just flood. This is shit.
Right. It was shit. Very noticeable as soon as you walked in the step.
Okay, so then what? Then what's the next step after that?
After that, I called the manager.
And what did you say? How did that
I said,
conversation
listen,
go?
dude, I'm not going down here. Oh, bullshit. No. It ain't that bad. I said, okay, fine. Tell you what. I will fix this furnace full-fledged. Come on down. But you're going to stand next to me the whole time.
Fair deal.
I thought it was
not
fair.
a bad idea.
If he expects you to do it,
Why isn't
if
he
it's
there
not
with me?
that bad, come here.
Right.
Let's see what you think.
I didn't think it was that bad.
We need to get Mike Rowe on job sites like these. That's the
And,
thing.
Right. Mike Rowe should have been with me. And I think Mike Rowe
Dirty
might have backed
jobs.
out. He might have backed out.
Oh, I'm sure the smell was just terrible. I mean, it had to have been just overpowering.
Because it literally just got pumped out.
Oh,
That morning.
so it was fresh.
Very fresh.
So it wasn't even like crusted over. It was not like a dull smell. It was fully freshly strong.
And it was, beginning part of winter. They're worried about the house freezing. Like, yeah, you got better things to worry about.
There's a little bit more that we need to worry about.
Right. And I had the manager come down, and he actually backed out with me.
You should have been like, I can't believe you guys chose this carpet. That's a real shitty selection.
Yeah, if there would have been carpet down there, it would have been great. Oh.
So it was in a basement of a house.
It was a basement of a house. Unfinished basement, luckily.
Oh, okay. So it was at least concrete.
It was concrete.
Okay,
but
so that's not as
a little
bad.
better. Not much.
Less
but-
collateral. Was it
less
framed
collateral
in?
for them.
Was it
It
framed
was
in or like
framed
stone
in,
walls?
but it didn't have anything in it.
So I hate to bring it back, but I think we did the viewers a little bit of a disservice. We never actually had you explain exactly what HVAC is.
Oh yeah.
So if you could
That's
just
a
give
great
us
idea.
give us a little run over what you do.
HVAC is basically heating, air conditioning, and ventilation.
So you get called out to fix AC, you get called out to fix furnaces. So like what's your day-to-day look like?
Day to day is, so I go out, I do tune-ups, I do repairs on furnaces, air conditioners, heat ventilators, and all kinds of stuff. Heat pumps, wood boilers, boiler systems, all kinds of stuff. So you're heating and you're cooling in your entire home. That's what I deal with. Anything to deal with that.
So here's the next thing I'm going to ask you. You deal with a lot of things that have refrigerant in them. Heavy, and you do commercial work somewhat, some of the time.
Some
correct?
of the time, correct.
What's the deal with the fucking McDonald's ice cream machines? And why can we never get them working?
That's one aspect I've never had to deal with. Thank God.
I think we got to put you on the task.
We need an inside look into why the McDonald's ice cream machines never work.
Everybody bitches about it. My best, I would say, hypothesis would be, lack of maintenance. That's anything as far as refrigerant goes, as far as heating goes. Lack of maintenance. Who there gives a shit?
So you're saying the shit's breaking down because they're not cleaning it?
Correct. If you don't clean your system, it's going to break down.
So theoretically, right after it's fixed, are the cleanest ice cream cones off the line?
There you go. So
That's good to know.
If you find
So
out the
they're
day
less
that
tainted.
the things are up and running, that's your cleanest ice cream.
So it actually might not be a bad thing that they're down, because then you just know to come back the next day.
Because if you get the right
and then
time,
you got
you're
the clean
scoring.
cone.
Right.
Then you got the clean cones.
Clean cones. All right, I like it.
That's not a bad idea, actually. So then, now, you do what exactly? Like, what do you specialize in? What's the jam? True North Heating and Air. You've been a longtime sponsor of the podcast.
I have. Absolutely.
Even before you've owned True North Heating and Air.
Yep, absolutely. Been
This beautiful RCA sign actually behind you
correct.
has been here since day one.
Day one and proud.
This was from your garage.
right.
I think it is our best sign.
I would agree. I'd agree, just because it's for me.
So now, what do you specialize in? Like, what's the jam of True North Heating and Air?
The jam of True North Heating and Air, what I would say would be specialize in efficiency. I geek out on making systems run top performance.
Like up and up
your best
making
efficiency. You can measuring airflow, combustion, making sure your system is going to run the best it can.
saving money.
Correct. I can usually take most average systems, I would say any average system, and increase the efficiency 10 to 15%.
Just by giving it a little tune.
Just by giving it a tune-up. By adjusting or calculating and adjusting your combustion and airflow.
So,
if you're not measuring, you're guessing.
Here's the next thing. What do you think we could increase the output of these ice cream cones at McDonald's? Not only can we get these things running, we could pump out even more of them.
I think we're screwed in McDonald's.
That's the problem.
There's no hope.
That's the problem.
There's no
Ray Crocker's just absolutely fucking them with those shitty appliances. We got to get a guy like Jed in there, get something tuned up.
Right.
So, Jed, I got to shoot it with you straight here.
Let's hear it.
I'm not saying that I think this applies to you, but when I went to college at Bemidji State, so there was a tech school that was also in Bemidji, and they had HVAC and they had electrician training there. Right. But everybody could stay at the Bemidji State dorm. So I had a lot of my friends in Bemidji were electricians and HVAC. And I'm not going to lie to you, the electricians were known as the cool guys, and the HVAC guys were kind of looked at as the nerds. And I just want to hear your take on that. I want you to defend your people.
Well, I can't.
I can't. Are they all HVAC guys typically the weirdos?
Well, Cody, you've known me long enough.
Yeah.
Since you were a little shit.
But I don't have the perspective. I don't know a lot of other HVAC guys.
True.
I do know a couple cool HVAC guys, so I can help defend them here.
Well, I'm probably not one of them.
The electricians, they like to bully them.
Right. Well, electricians think their shit don't stink just because they're certified.
All right. Let's get into this. So, my big thing with different trades is you have beefs with other trades, especially if you work hand in hand with each other. You get in each other's way. Maybe don't clean up good enough, especially in new construction.
Yep.
So for you, I'd assume electricians is something that you deal with.
Correct.
So what's the deal, man? What's the beef?
Well,
why do we hate them? Because I'm down to hate electricians.
Why do we hate them? He says.
Well, I can't say a whole lot, dude. I got family in there.
Oh, so we can't throw too many shots.
I can't throw too many shots.
You guys,
and I know one of them listens, so I can't.
You guys can duke it out at Thanksgiving next week.
Well, I mean,
let's
not
put it out
saying
there.
It won't happen, but hey. No, usually when it comes to trades, it's just everybody getting each other's way.
Yeah. So you're saying like common goals in one room, right? Like if they got to put in an outlet and you're also doing the ventilation right by them.
My vent needs to go here. I don't give a shit. Get your shit out of my way.
Or they're throwing their garbage down your shit. You ever get that?
Nonstop.
You ever had an argument out on a job site with anybody or?
Not in a long time. So I haven't done new construction in years. But I remember way back when I did do it with my dad.
Yep.
Electrician, same thing. He was throwing his shit down my vents.
And so you're like, hey, that's not going to happen.
And mind you, I went behind the ears at this time. Like, I didn't know shit. I was just a ductwork guy. And at that stage in the game, as early as I was, you don't know. And I flat out told him, like, dude, what the fuck? Why is all your shit down my vents? Dude, I got to come through clean all this out. Or, if I don't do it, if I don't see it, this ain't coming out. Nobody's going to clean this out. Mm-hmm. Like, I guarantee you, new construction homes, if you don't go look down your vents, there's shitting in them.
Yeah.
And that makes me look bad. What the hell? It smells like burnt rubber in here. Well, that ain't condoms.
Could be.
Well, not yet. I mean, new construction.
Right. I've thrown some weird shit down the vents before.
Well, I've seen some weird shit down vents, dude.
Well, I guess that brings us right into our next question. What's the weirdest thing you ever found in an event?
Did you do ventilation cleaning as well?
I don't do it myself. I got a subcontractor that does it for me.
Yep.
But I do come across some weird crap. I think the worst I've seen was some RC cars, some Playboy cutouts.
I got to get rid of this quick.
Right. I look in there and, my filter, I'm just not getting any airflow. Look down there, there's Playboy in the fucking vent.
You ever find drugs in the vent? I feel like that's something
Not yet.
That's
but if I
something.
did, I
Oh,
wouldn't say anything.
gotta get rid of that. Quick.
I wouldn't say anything.
I wouldn't say anything.
No, I haven't.
I haven't.
So keep using that as a place to put them.
Call me back next year.
Yeah, so looks like your vents are going to be needed cleaned every month.
Every month.
So you know.
I'm just saying.
And I found nothing, but they're dirty.
They're dirty every year. Damn it.
Oh, that's funny. You ever get anything crazy when you're walking to other rooms? Like, so for example, we have a few buddies that do like home calls on stuff, and they'll go in and find like crazy sex toys or like, you know, just like stuff you don't expect in rooms, and they're like, didn't realize they left it out. You ever come into a situation like that at a house?
Not too often. The worst I see is usually hoarder houses.
Oh, I bet.
Where it's like they just got a bunch of shit. And
everywhere.
they just haven't cleaned that area good enough.
And there's so much you can't, like, there could have been, I've walked into houses where there could have been sex toys all over hell. I wouldn't have noticed.
Because there's so much stuff.
Other shit. Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed.
You're not doing a lot of observing.
Right.
Get in, get out.
You're overwhelmed. Hurry up. Let's fix this and get the hell out of here. I mean, women come to the doors in their bathrobes, half open and shit like that. That's happened.
Maybe get a little discount from you.
I guarantee that some have tried. Honey, don't take it against me.
Jed's
Don't
wife's
take it
behind the
against
camera giving him the death glare down.
Get the old cleavage discount.
I'm good with it.
This is the last time Jed was ever seen.
Right. So just take note, people. If I'm not found after this, if I don't make my service calls tomorrow, check the wife.
Yeah, I think I've seen how this video starts before.
Right.
And I don't think the furnace ever gets fixed.
Pretty sure it was a murder documentary.
So I think this is perfect timing for my next question. Working at the company I used to work for, they had certain sections that had to go in and do house calls, and I knew a couple guys that had women or men come on to them while they're doing the house call. You ever have somebody hit on you or?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
How do you
try
handle
to
that?
give you the slide to get a little discount on what they're doing?
Yeah, it just happened the other day.
Really?
No way.
That's not uncommon.
So they're like, yeah, you know what?
Well, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of money. Is there any way we could work a discount out? They'll say without saying.
And how do you handle that when now it's a different situation if you're the owner of the business, because now you're thinking like, well, I need to make X amount. Like to make it work, it has to make, and it's not just me making money, it's the company.
Right.
So then like, how do you handle that from the perspective of like, now you're not only the guy doing the work, you're the owner of the company.
Right.
So you tell them like, here's the deal. I got to make this amount of money. So it's got to be this amount of money because I have to make money.
This is my rate. I don't care.
I'm a weak man. I don't know how well I'd hold out on that.
Well, maybe I can send you some training. We can figure this out.
Yeah,
I'm looking for good technicians, dude.
Be like, you know what? I actually have another technician that can come in. Maybe he can help you out with the discount.
Right, I can get you in.
I'm in. Hey, you got my number. If you don't, I'll send it to you.
All of a sudden, you got all these guys paying you to go to these
Right.
jobs. Hell yeah, $50. I'm gonna go to this guy's
Right.
place.
Hey, Bunny's money.
Money's money. There is that. I mean, so now, how do you actually handle the discount situation? Where it's like, what's the conversation like? They're like, hey, I know you quoted me $3,500. I was thinking more like $2,700.
No, I'm pretty firm on that now, especially being a business owner.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Listen,
I own the place, so I can have less wiggle room.
Right, I don't have a whole lot of wiggle room, and I'm pretty upfront with my pricing, and I'm
Yeah.
a flat rate company anyhow. So all my prices are flat rated. If it's this part, it's this price.
Yep.
Don't care. Here's what it is. If you don't like it,
And that
it's
makes
fine.
it easier because then they know right up front. There's
And
no like hidden stuff too, because that happens.
I never hide
where it's like
nothing.
you get into like, hey, come fix my furnace. Someone comes out, and then they said it was going to be like $160. Then all of a sudden it's $500.
Right.
Oh, by the way, when we were there, we saw this. I mean, car mechanics get this reputation as well. You know,
They do.
Where it's like, hey, what the heck? I thought it was going to be $160. Now my bill's at $500.
One thing I do differently at True North is flat out. I always tell everybody flat out before I do any work, this is what it's going to be. And if it takes me longer or if it's more involved or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
My price is my price. I will stand behind my word.
So now, from the standpoint of like, what you would tell to other HVAC people that are in the industry or trying to get into the industry, do you think what would be the best piece of information from the standpoint of how to deal with the customers in this discount negotiation process?
As far as the discount negotiation,
don't budge on it unless it's something where it's like your fault. Like let's say you mess something up.
If
let's
I
say you're fixing a furnace and you like broke the gas line or something.
Well, if I break something, that's my fault. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Just don't charge. That is what it is.
Yep.
But you're going to pay for what I fix. If I quoted you, let's say I quoted you a gas valve. Well, that's what I'm going to pay. If I break something in the meantime, let's say I'm taking it off. It happens. Things happen. I mean, it happens all the time. Not all the time, but it happens.
Yeah.
So let's say I break something while I'm taking it off. A gas line breaks. Okay, cool. Well, that's my bad. I'm going to have to take it out of my pocket, my time, fix that mess up, and put it back together. Right now?
Like, what do you have? What do you keep? Do you keep inventory? Is that a normal thing for HVAC? Like, you just keep a shit ton of like
right now the shop looks
heaters,
right now
a bunch of air conditioners. What do you have? Is that a normal thing? Like a big company, a big corporate company, would they keep around a bunch of shit? Or do they order it in as they need it?
Most are getting to, and that's one thing I learned working with the big companies is that most of them now, they all just order as you need instead of keeping stock. Because you can get things so fast now compared to back in the day.
Right.
Like my dad's era when he was in the business and all that shit.
Well, and part of it is like it eliminates you having to have this massive warehouse. Like,
right.
How much cost per month does that eliminate entirely if you can just order it as you go? That makes so much more sense.
I mean, I looked into inventory, and when my dad passed away, we had to clean out his shop, so I seen what he had for inventory, and it was insane. I mean, the amount of stuff he had was just crazy. And
it was just like heaters, air conditioners, you name it, parts.
Mostly parts. Oh. If you keep your part stock minimal, that's where you're gonna succeed. Keep your part stock minimal.
Well, the problem is, I think back in the day, things used to be so precise, where it was like, if this went out, it was always this piece. So simple.
Right.
And now that shit's always improving and changing and whatever, it's like now you have these are always constantly changing. So I would imagine that makes it even more hard to have an inventory.
There's 300 to 400 circuit boards alone.
Well, and then the fact of like different brands, they don't want to all be interchangeable.
Right.
They're going to purposely make their parts different so that they can charge for their own parts.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
That's how it goes.
It makes sense.
There's hundreds and hundreds of parts out there that you would have to stock to fix everything. It's not going to happen. So once you come to the realization, you keep your most common stuff available. What's in my truck is what I keep for inventory now.
That's it. Whatever
90%.
is in your service truck?
What's in my service truck is what I have.
Dang. That's crazy.
Don't need to anymore.
I suppose you're just ordering it for the job.
Are there a lot of calls where you go there, you figure out what's wrong, and then you have to order the part for a later day and come back? Or can you do a lot of same day just repair?
I would say 50-50, honestly. I'd say 50% of the time I can fix it same day. Because a lot of it's your common stuff, your igniters, which, I mean, there's a pile of different igniters. However, it's not hard. That's a small part I can keep in stock. Mm-hmm. And I do stock a very, very big variety of those.
Yep.
Flame sensors, stupid stuff like that. That's all small, common things that fail. I keep a very well-stocked inventory of that kind of stuff. I can fix that right now. Bigger parts, your control boards, the control boards are insanely expensive right now. Some of the Bluetooth boards, like for my newer furnaces now, some of them are running $900. My cost.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
I can't imagine what it costs the customer at that point.
Dude.
Right.
Insane.
Well, luckily, right now the newer stuff's under warranty. And it's another thing I do too. I offer 10-year parts and labor warranty and all my shit.
Nice.
Most
that's
don't.
Sweet. I believe that because like the way the stuff's made, especially that kind of stuff.
Right.
Components, parts, like everything's made so cheap now, so they can just pump them out.
Right.
I mean, there's people are constantly consuming just random shit. You know,
it happens
all the new electronic stuff. What happens in the age of AI taking over the HVAC community? What does that look like? Is that possible?
You actually, I'm glad you brought that up because it's getting crazy right now. All my furnaces now, the stuff I carry, which is a Amana brand, Liberty, Amana, same thing. All my control boards are Bluetooth set up.
Yeah.
You have to have your Bluetooth computer and set it up, or you ain't getting nothing working.
Really? So you got to
gotta
like physically go on a computer to set.
Wow.
You got to hook up with Bluetooth and set up your airflow. You have to know your static pressures. You got to know your combustion, your oxygen levels, your carbon monoxide levels, all that. You can set it up all on Bluetooth now.
I didn't realize how smart you have to be to do HVAC. Like not that I disrespect.
Did you just call me smart?
I would definitely call you smart. Because I knew that it wasn't just some big dum trade by any means, but I did not know how much went into it, how much knowledge you needed to have. Like not to throw anyone under the bus, but a framer, you could hire a kid off the street, he could come frame for you,
Or dirt
you
work.
could have him working in a day.
Right.
Or dirt work.
But
like
HVAC,
Tyler,
that is not the case. Yeah,
That takes
Yeah,
nothing.
anyone can jump in a Bobcat, bud.
Well, I mean, I own one. It's not that big of a deal. But you still got to have talent with that, too. All right, every trade's got their own talents, obviously. But, yeah, when it comes to HVAC, it's getting so technologically advanced. It's insane. And even some of our new install tools, things like that, it's the tools now that are getting crazy expensive.
So, like, what does it look like? What is the new age of everything becoming electronic and all automated? What does that look like for HVAC? Like, what's the biggest tech right now in the HVAC community that everyone is like, whoa, holy shit, this might be kind of career changing?
The big thing was, especially during COVID, was air purification.
Yeah.
IAQ, indoor air quality. People are nuts about it.
So, like, how your air filtration is throughout the whole house.
So you get a whole
This is
home,
only people that have central, obviously.
right? Essentially,
heating
your
and
boiler
cooling.
systems aren't going to quite do it for you. You don't know you're moving. There's other options for that, though. I mean, there's still definitely plenty of options for boilers.
Was that ever an issue with like traditional furnaces and COVID, like the way that they're transmitting COVID and other shit around the house?
As far as air versus boiler,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of difference. COVID we learned a lot about COVID as it went on, but I would say I think a lot of the preventative stuff a lot of problem is everybody stayed home in your homes.
Right.
Well, and the worst thing for you at that point in time, I was looking and did a lot of research on this, was, a lot of the times you get sick is because you're in your home. Mm-hmm. Outside fresh air is the best place to be. What did a lot of people do? They couldn't go to the bars. You couldn't go to the restaurants. You couldn't go to all the public places. What are people doing? They're outside doing yard work. They're doing, they're exercising. They're all going outside. Everybody's outside.
Yep.
They're
Going
not in
fishing,
their homes.
hunting.
Right. The outdoor sports and the outdoor stuff blew up. As far as Wings North went, nuts.
Yeah.
Even during COVID,
Busy.
everybody's looking to get out and do something outside because you couldn't be inside anywhere.
Right.
And that was huge. Well, your indoor air quality is where it's at. Well, that's what caused a lot of problems, especially like, your UV lights and your ozone and your filtration systems, your HEPA filters, your bypass filters, all that. I mean, all ties into your HVAC system. And to hook all that up and do all that and install all that stuff got just insane. The amount of indoor air quality systems we provide and we offer is astronomical. I put an own UV light and ozone in my own house. Just try it out. So you don't know.
So that's all the rage about the tech nowadays is all purification.
Purification.
And how can we eliminate these viruses?
Yep. Purification and Wi-Fi and smart home stuff.
Is there anything? Well, okay, yeah, the smart home stuff gets into it, but I was gonna say, is there anything coming up with like automation wise, where it's like automatically we'll put it at this temperatures during the day because that's the best for proficiency or whatever.
Yeah, and that's a lot with the whole home automation stuff that's coming out. Your Wi-Fi systems and your programmable and all that shit. That's a lot where that's coming from, I would say, as far as...
So this is a big thing like, what's the doorbell thing? I know there's
Ring.
Eufy, Ring, Nest.
Right.
All these companies are creating like everything from thermostats to cameras to alarms,
for sure.
doorbells, like you name it.
Right.
And now I see a lot of stuff that you can attach to like furnaces and washing machines, and you can monitor how efficient these things are being. So like, is that kind of like helping or hurting HVAC business, do you think? Because they're finding more, but also do you think they're creating more?
I think people are finding more and wanting more stuff, which is fine. It's great. I mean, I'm an advocate of some of it. No different. I mean, I'm guilty as charged. I have a pretty Wi-Fi, pretty high-tech system in my own house. I mean, I have sensors in almost every room in my home.
Yeah.
I can control the temperature anywhere in my home, all over, no matter where I'm at. I was over in Pakistan for a while, and just to be a dick and mess with my wife, I'm touching my thermostat and changing the temperatures because it was like 40 below. I'm over in Pakistan where it's nice and warm. I'm out hunting.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's 40 below here. Let's turn the temperature down a little bit. Let's freeze her out.
That's funny that you say that because when I lived in a house in Bemidji with a bunch of college roommates, and we had a pretty big falling out with a couple of the roommates who happened to be a couple.
Yeah.
Well, during COVID, they moved home. So we would be in the house. It was just me and the other roommates who got along. The two that moved out didn't. And they had control of our thermostat. We'd be sitting there, they'd turn it up, they'd turn it down. There's nothing we could do about it. They had us.
Right.
So I know how that goes.
You ever thought about just turning it off the Wi-Fi? Can you just turn off in the
Dude,
settings?
I spent
Yeah, you
hours trying to figure out how to fucking do it. I tried to reset it. I tried to connect my phone. No.
You got to have the
Dang.
main password.
That's exactly it.
If you're not the main password, you're SOL.
Oh, you couldn't just slyly be like, hey, what's the password? Something's messed up with
Oh,
the
we were
thing.
in full war at this point. There was no negotiations being had between the parties.
That sucks.
Ooh. You should have came up with something sly like, oh yeah, something's messed up on this thing. It's telling me to log in and select this and go through this menu and
Get in there, change that password real quick.
yeah.
Right.
Or just at least change it to what you want it to be.
Yeah, I dropped
That's
the
like,
ball.
shit, I wish I would have thought of that.
Fuck. If I could just go back 3 years, man, what I would change.
Oh,
We've
now you
been
can't
living
be
in
trusted.
luxury in there.
Now you can't be trusted.
Right.
So,
Wait.
I'm sorry, Cody.
Go ahead.
My one question that I was thinking about that I really wanted to ask you is certain pet peeves that you have on the job, something where you roll up to the job and you just know it's going to suck. Like, for one example that I thought of is like someone that tried to disassemble and repair their own furnace or AC first, and then you have to come fix their problems plus what was wrong with it. Like, what's something that just pisses you off as soon as you see it?
Yeah, I would say that's one of them. And then getting there, and believe it or not, it's the weirdest, smallest thing. And everybody's guilty of it, including myself. Dirty air filters.
Oh, I bet. My dad, that became, when I was a kid, that was like my job for a little bit. Because I had the room in the basement right next to the furnace. Yep. And he told me once a month, it is your job to replace this. Some of the biggest fights we ever had in that house were over me not replacing that. That was a big deal at my house.
Yeah, mine was the water softener. If the water softener salt freaking ran out, I would get a hell of a fight with my dad.
Oh,
hell of
your
a
dad?
fight.
No, never. Never.
Yeah, that was always our biggest argument was the water softener. Also, his water at his house is terrible. And back then it was really bad.
I can vouch. I've seen.
It was really bad. So he was like, you better keep this freaking
Dude,
full.
I can just imagine.
You better keep this full.
If my dad was down in the basement and I heard him scream my name from the basement, I knew it was bad, dude. It was never anything good.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem. You ever go into any houses for any repairs and you're like witnessing a domestic going on? People are like arguing either
Not
over
really.
over anything else.
Not too often, because usually when I'm there, people are in panic mode.
Oh, okay, yeah.
'Cause it's cold, it's
like,
broken.
oh, thank you so much. It's cold
Right.
as hell.
You know, and I could say or do anything. I could walk in there butt ass naked and give a shit.
Oh, I bet you're a savior to people.
Right. You walk in the superhero, man. It's
Yeah.
like putting when I put on my hat, when I put on my shoes, and when I get out the door,
Yep.
especially after hours call, dude, I'm putting on my Superman cape.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I feel like cable guys are the exact opposite of that. Cable guys always get the shitty end of the stick.
They do.
Like they always get the weirdest houses.
And they get
Weirdest.
the pissed off people because they blame you directly for this.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
your fucking company is the reason I can't watch TV. You fix it now. You're just the guy that saves their life.
Right.
Yeah.
It-
Well,
it's
Dalton has
color
been
and
on
shit.
here.
They're
He
freezing
was-
their ass off.
He was a low voltage electrician. I mean, he would always tell stories about just like crazy shit going on at whatever job sites he was at. It was nuts.
Yeah.
So like cable guys, I feel like are exact opposite. That's why I asked that.
Yeah, dude. I understood my. I mean, it's weird. I refer to my dad a lot because he was my hero. He's the reason I'm into this industry and the reason I do what I do.
Hell yeah.
And I am where I am today.
Yep.
God rest. But he's the reason I am. And I was seeing where he was a fireman for 31 years.
Dang.
And, yeah, 31 years Pine City Fire Department.
That's
Awesome.
crazy.
He retired a year before he passed.
Wow.
Yeah. And I seen where he always had his hero complex. We always, I mean, as boys, you know, there's three of us boys. We always looked up to Dad as a hero.
Yep.
And I understand where he came from now that I'm in the industry. Because when you get that call in the middle of the night and they're out of heat and it's 20 below, and no matter what, just like I do, I get up, put my pants on, and I don't care if it's 2 a.m. I get up, I get out, I run that call. And I go out there and try to make sure their problem's solved and make sure they have heat.
Yep.
You are a superhero at that point in time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Especially if they got kids. And
It doesn't matter anything. You are a damn superhero. They don't care. They want their heat.
Well,
and they are so grateful and happy.
Yeah.
Just like you saved them out of a damn fire. I get where
Right.
that got.
you ever get any good baked goods or anything?
Oh, dude, some of the best tips.
You got a grandma that's like, I made you this pie.
Dude, some of the best tips I ever got are like summer sausage.
Oh.
That was probably one of my best ones. I had one guy, he was a butcher, and I got a whole big pack of steaks.
Damn.
The benefit of living in a rural community like this, I bet, is just like the game. You know, like deer, pheasant,
Dude.
like you name it. People got to be just like, oh, here, have this.
Right here, I don't have a whole lot of money, but you know, how about some steaks? And you know, I want to tip you something. And you know, how about you know, whatever they're coming up with? Oh, here's some cookies, and I get all kinds.
That's
of
so
stuff.
crazy to think.
Homemade
Like,
jam is my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. So anybody out there listening, homemade jam.
Homemade jam. Hey,
Homemade
anyone
jam.
wants to give me some, I'll take it
I'll
too.
take it all day long.
so like, how crazy of a dynamic is that? Like, people are so appreciative that they're like trying to give you these gifts of like baked goods or like random shit.
And I'll tell you what, I'll take that almost all day long over monetary, because that shows me that
You
they
know what you're
actually
doing
put-
to yourself here, Jed. There's
I
a lot
do.
of people that
I
listen to
do.
this.
That's fine. That's okay.
People are like, I'll give you 4 head of cattle for this for new furnace.
Ooh, 4 head of cattle. Hey. Well, I don't have such a big family anymore. My daughter moved out and shit. So I don't know.
You're right. You got a lot less mouths to
Right,
feed.
less miles. Well, I mean, the monetary's there. Don't get me wrong. However, the extra above and beyond, they go beyond that is just really appreciated on my end of it. I mean, these guys are coming out and showing me that they put their hard work into all this stuff too that they make,
You're right.
that they're doing, and to just hand it over like to me,
Yep.
I get appreciative of it, and I can appreciate that from people.
So,
for sure.
what do you think? What do you think about going back to a barter trade system? Let's say the economy collapses tomorrow. Obviously, base goal: survive. I'd do what I'm doing just for food. I mean, why not?
I would in a heartbeat.
If you didn't have to pay bills,
I like what I do.
if
So,
you don't have to pay bills, hell yeah, I'll take that goose.
I
Hell yeah, I'll take that beef jerky.
I have 3
damn right.
rabbits, a woodcock, a couple of carrots that I
See,
grew.
I think the economy collapses. That's where a community like Pine City, these small Midwest towns, we excel because we can like legitimately provide for ourselves if something like crazy were to happen, you know?
Dude.
It's like we could still carry on our normal lives and we just get paid in friggin' bacon
Right.
instead of money.
Work
Like-
for Butchie Nickel. Best bacon in town.
Best bacon in town. Hell yeah. 5 strips an hour.
Right.
Minimum wage.
I love it.
So we were
mean-
just talking about the good customers. I'm
Right.
going to take it back a little bit to
Go ahead.
the customers that might not be the best. So I work for a masonry company.
Right.
Shout
And-
out Unlimited Masonry.
Shout out Unlimited.
Unlimited masonry. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you know, if you pull up to the job and the guy or the woman immediately comes out and they're watching you, they're asking you what are you doing? Is that level? Or even trying to like jump in, grab the tools and help, we know it's going to be a long day. You
Right.
get that customer that's just standing over you. Oh, that looks a little crooked there. You ever have the guys that stand over you or?
The best is the older tired guy.
Where he used
Yup.
to be HVAC.
Yes.
No. The worst is I'm an engineer. The
Oh.
retired engineer, I would say, is the
Yeah.
worst.
Buddy,
We
I
got-
did this for 40 years.
No, he didn't do shit for it. He don't know shit about HVAC, but he's an engineer.
Yeah.
So he knows.
Yep. See, that's the thing. We were actually talking about, so this whole segment we're calling Blue Collar Happy Hour. We dedicated this whole thing to just doing trades and just doing like everyday people that we know and entrepreneurs and whatever. But we were also talking about, we need to get an engineer on here. One of the most hated by almost every trade, in some facet of their job. Like, they get disliked and they always get shit on.
They do.
So like, let's hear it. In the HVAC community, what's your biggest gripe with architects or engineers?
I wouldn't say architects so much as engineers. Architects to a point for some of the designs and some of the bullshit I got to deal with as far as running ductwork when I used to do construction. But engineers are the worst because they come in right in and, well, you know, I could have figured that out. As soon as you tell them what's wrong with it, well, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then why didn't you just fix it? Or why didn't you just tell
me? If I'm just a dumb HVAC guy, why am I here? You know, it's just not all of them. I can't see all of them. There's
there's like a perceived pecking order, obviously.
There's definitely a pecking order.
They're on their high horse. They're big dick swinging. Like,
correct.
Oh, buddy, have you seen my degree?
Right.
Did you know I'm an engineer, bud?
Thinking they're all horse dick hanging out.
We gotta get an engineer and an architect on here. We gotta just absolutely pick their brain about what it's like to just get shit on.
Because I bet they get sick of being. Just like we need to get a safety guy, a union safety guy, dude.
Oh,
most hated person in the blue collar community by far.
I want to be in the background for that one, or up front. I don't care. I want to see it.
We should maybe do videos of like, road worker versus architect, engineer, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like the trade versus trade, they hate each other. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
Like that's the vibe.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh, dude, I want to see that.
What's the number one enemy of the HVAC? Either commercial or residential, either one.
The skunks.
What is
residential? I would say skunks.
The physical skunk.
The physical skunk, I would say, is the nastiest. The crawl space, I would say, and in general, the crawl space is by far the enemy of the HVAC guy.
Because no one's ever there; it's never clean.
So I would assume a ground level or like a crawl space on the ground versus up in the ceiling. I feel like the ground one, that's got to be worse.
That's
right?
what I'm talking about. The ground one. That's an otherwise it'd be an attic space. Attic, yeah. Which down south, that's where all your HVAC is. Up here, lovely state of Minnesota, we're all in basements.
Yep.
Or, same thing, ground level, crawl space. Underneath trailer homes, I would say is the worst.
Yep. That makes sense.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I delivered pizzas and I could say the same exact thing. The trailer homes were the worst. So maybe it's a connection.
Could be.
I think it's pretty common law. People don't like doing trades at the trailer park.
I don't mind doing trades as long as I don't have to go under it. Because I do a lot of trailers.
A lot of smells.
Yeah, there is.
Why do you think that is? Why do you do a lot of more trailers than houses, I guess?
A lot of people in the area don't do them.
Oh.
A lot of the trades, a lot of the companies in the area won't touch trailer homes.
Why is that? Because some of these appliances, like furnaces, for example, are more small versions or like mobile versions.
They're mobile versions, and they have to be a special brand and special clarified for mobile homes.
Oh.
You have to have a special mobile home for a mobile home.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Why is that? Like, if you don't, what would it do? Let's say you retrofit just a big-ass furnace from, like, a 3,000 square foot house into, like, a 300 square foot trailer.
I don't ask questions.
What would happen?
I don't ask questions. I just don't go against code.
But, well, obviously code is code
lot.
for a reason,
right.
You know?
So because they are mobile, and if they do move, things happen.
Okay.
Things aren't meant to be mobile and move around. These furnaces that are put into mobile homes are meant to be moved around, can bounce around going down a road or whatever they need to do, or if they're getting moved, because you never know what's going to happen.
What's inside of a furnace? What's the makeup of a furnace?
A lot
that you can't
nowadays.
Bounce around.
A lot.
A lot. We got fires in there. What the hell's going on?
Literally, yeah, that's where it is. That's where all the fire is. So quite literally, you're right. Fire is literally inside the furnace.
You don't want to be bouncing around and shit,
right? Because what happens is the heat exchangers break and crack, and if they crack and break, if a heat exchanger cracks, that leaves carbon monoxide into the home. That just leads to dead people.
Which leads to better sleep.
Yeah, you sleep. That's right.
You will have the best night of sleep of your whole life.
Best night of sleep of your whole life, and you'll never wake up from it.
So,
amazing.
you ever gone into a home where they like got space heaters all over the friggin' place? Like electronic ones?
Electrics are fine. Electric doesn't
Plugged
put
into
out
the
carbon
wall.
dioxide.
Right. But like that's their heat source because the furnace is out.
All the time.
Just like there's space heaters everywhere.
Oh yeah, all the time. Lots of times.
Are you anti-space heater?
No, not at all. I actually, if I can't fix a furnace right away, actually I have probably 2 houses getting heated by electric space heaters right now.
Really?
As I'm waiting for parts.
Do you bring in space heaters?
Yes, I do. I provide them for people that if I can't get a part right away, as long as they're using me for the repair, I provide heat no matter what.
Really? Okay, so
Free of charge.
that's huge.
That's a selling
huge
point.
up. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep.
So that's a little bit more of a relief, I guess. You call like SOS, like, dude, my furnace just went out and it's this crazy part. I know you can't get it for a week. What the hell am I going to do? It's negative 20.
As
Like
long as they're
where
using-
we live, it gets freaking cold.
It's freaking cold. I guarantee heat if I get called.
For how many people? Like how many houses can you provide a heat for?
You'd be surprised how many heaters I have.
Really?
yeah.
See, that's part of the inventory. That's what these young HVAC guys got to know.
I have
How much
lots and
storage
lots.
space do they got to have for space heaters?
Oh, I probably have.
What would you say is the critical elements to the business? Being able to have and maintain that keeps True North or your particular business different than everyone else.
Customer service and answering my phone.
See, the customer service side, like the heater thing, that's huge.
Right. I guarantee heat. Guaranteed. I actually, just before I came here, I was at a home, and same thing. They needed it's an older unit. They want to repair it rather than replace it, which is fine. Great. They needed a control board. I don't stock every control board. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to have it till tomorrow. It's going to be kind of cold tonight. So I dropped off, 4 or 5 space heaters. And here, use these for free. As long as you use me for the repair, there's no charge.
But they still got to pay the electric bill.
Right. I don't have to pay that.
Right, but you're providing all the electric heaters they want.
I think they're willing to
Like,
deal
hey,
with the
this is
electric
full.
bill as long as
day
you're not
electric-
freezing.
For
like
sure.
that.
No, for sure.
A day electric bill versus freezing your house
Yep.
and being a little comfortable,
Hell yeah.
worth the money.
Absolutely worth the money.
Right.
Hell yeah. That's sweet. I really like that. I like that idea. So what else? Like what makes it like in the HVAC business, what's like another leg up? Well, and maybe you don't want to be giving trade secrets locally either too. So I get that if you don't want to answer, but like what do you think is the best thing for someone out there, let's say that's not going to compete with you to get a leg up over their competition? Competition.
Here's a leg up I have. I'll share this one. Is right now I'm offering, and I'll put it out there for right now. I haven't advertised it anywhere else. This will be exclusive to On Tap with the boys. Mm-hmm. I'm going to run this for the next week. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to run this to the beginning of the year.
Okay. January 1st.
January 1st.
January
Right.
1st of 2023.
Anybody,
Wow, I'm on a roll.
Anybody mentions they heard me on Tap with the boys.
Yep.
You buy a full system from me, furnace and air, you get a whole home duct cleaning for free.
Damn.
That's
You guys heard it. That's a big deal.
Whole home duct cleaning free.
It's up to you, viewers.
Right. Absolutely free. Free of charge.
You'd be dumb not to.
Here's the
Hey.
number here. Close up, Cody, on the editing process.
Right.
Give him a call.
Find me on Google. I am Google guaranteed also.
Google guaranteed. Hell yeah. Are you in the Better Business Bureau?
I am not.
Is the Better Business Bureau a crock of shit?
I think it's a
I think it is.
dad format.
Okay, so I just got explained to me what the Better Business Bureau is. I've always known of it and known that it's kind of like a hub for like reviews, so to speak, on the business and figure out what their values are as a company. I have never once in my lifetime ever gone on the BBB to look at a business.
Anybody
I think
under the age
it's
of
just
40
not a thing.
hasn't.
Yeah.
It's just not
No
a thing.
kidding.
40 years old. I've never been on it.
I remember when I was working at Sears, when like something would get messed up with a client's like washer and dryer delivery when I was working in appliances, they'd call me, be like, I'm going to call the BBB and tell them how you guys do business. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, no, please don't.
I don't want any.
later
Did you say BBC?
He said BBB.
Fuck, I thought you said BBC. I was scared for a second.
The British Broadcasting Company?
Yeah.
I'd rather go with
Close.
that.
I would too.
Close. So that's I was like, I remember being like, no, please don't. Please don't. But now like, I don't even know what that is. What does that do? What does that do?
Right.
So
nowadays, nothing.
It doesn't
It's like
matter.
advertising the Yellow Pages.
So it doesn't matter.
No.
If you're in a new business, don't even worry about it.
It's not.
Worry about the BBB. Worry about the FB and the IG and the TikTok
And the Google.
and the Google.
Google's huge.
The Google Analytics.
Google's
Now that
huge.
Google owns YouTube and everything else and all of our
Yeah.
information, they pretty much control everything online. So get your business on Google.
Knock on wood, still 5-star rated on Google.
Even if you don't have a website, get a freaking Google listing.
Get a Google
it costs
listing.
nothing. It's free.
Right.
And you can just start advertising on Google right now.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. And even just getting a few reviews on your Google page, on Google listing, nuts. It'll just get you right up to the top.
It does.
If no one else is doing what you're doing, let's say you're a friggin' foot massager, that's all you do, just put a page out there. Get some photos up, get hours that you're open up, and start getting reviews.
Post the basics and let her buck. Something's
Let her
better
buck.
than nothing, always.
Absolutely. Jed, where's a good place where everyone can find information on your business? Do you have a website
I do.
and social media?
Facebook also, True North Heating and Air. True North Heating and Air at gmail.com. You can email me any questions you might have, or truenortheatingandair.com.
Hell yeah. Sweet.
So I think one thing that we should do for part of the reason we're doing the blue collar happy hour is for our younger audiences to get an idea of what they want to do once they're out of high school, or maybe they're just out of high school and they're stuck. If you could give us how you would recommend getting into HVACing, maybe some schooling or be an apprentice for someone, how can a youngster get into HVAC?
My advice for youngsters to get an HVAC would be flat out, do not. I know this sounds so cliche. Do not go to a damn college.
Really?
Do not.
Just go apply somewhere. You want to work or what?
Apply somewhere, go get some hands-on experience. There is so many other courses out there that can get you there faster and better. And I've had so many kids when I worked for a big company. I had so many kids come underneath my wing and come with me and just to do a basic tune-up, and couldn't do it out of a 2-year college.
Yep.
And there's colleges out there and schools out there that can get you there way faster. Anyone who wants info to get there faster, I'd be happy to point them in the right direction.
You might even have a job for them.
Correct. And if they do like I did and work my way through it, you can find companies out there that will pay your way through school. So make money while you get your education.
That's
And
sweet.
get
That's
your
good
certifications.
advice.
It's huge.
You don't need to anymore. I think college is something that is pushed too hard on too many young kids
Yep.
that don't know what they want to do. Go try something for a year or two. Don't be scared. The
I know
trades are
how
where
that
it's
goes. My mom pushed me into college. I now have college debt, no degree.
at, right?
So I know exactly what you're saying.
Dude, I went to college too. I went to, believe it or not, I went to school for audio technology.
So you're right in your element right now.
Right now I am, absolutely. Running soundboards and repairing soundboards and all that. And low voltage is where I learned a lot. Actually, I did bring into me with HVAC because it's all low voltage systems. Mm-hmm. But there's so many better ways to get into the trades and make real money real fast rather than going to school. Anybody can do it.
Or even, I mean, a lot of times they'll send you to school just like they'll pay for it. Why pay for it? If you have to go, why pay for it yourself if someone else is willing to?
And
And
just
you'll
gotta
be
figure it out.
more motivated.
Yeah.
correct, you're making money while you do it. So, you want to make sure you don't let them down because they're paying for your schooling.
Right.
You don't want to let them people down that are paying for it.
Yep.
So you're going to learn it, and they don't let you pass. The schooling I went to and the stuff I did, you don't get to go out of there unless you pass.
Yep.
But you want to learn, and if you want to learn, you will learn,
Yep.
and you will pass.
Yep.
It's that. If I can do it, listen, I was a C to maybe a B average student. I wasn't a very good student in high school. But here I am today, running my own company.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Well, I think that's a good way to go out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think this was a great first episode of
I agree.
the Blue Collar Happy Hour. If you guys have any other trades that you want to hear us interview and talk about, let us know. But
Or if you're in a trade and you think that you got some interesting shit to talk about,
also, we're looking to do guides for hunting or fishing, just something interesting. If you know an interesting job or have one, let us know. Thank you so much for coming on. You were great. This episode was great. And I speak for both Cody and I. We appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate the opportunity.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anything else that you want to say before we close out of here?
Let's have some more Ronnie Diaz and some cider.
Yes,
More
sir.
Ronnie D and cider. Ronnie D and Dr. Peppers are flowing, but the Ronnie D and ciders are going good better tonight.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Cheers.
Anybody else needs information, don't be afraid to go to my website.
True North Heating and Air.
TrueNorthHeatingAir.com.
Cheers.
Take care.